All right, so this week in Tinfoil Hat Time, we were going to talk about FEMA camps and stuff because that would have just been perfect for Sarah's podcast.
Yeah.
But with all of this stuff going on with Obama addressing the nation and all that, I want to go into gun control and gun laws and all of that stuff and just kind of go overboard with this because this is Tinfoil Hat Time. For everybody that doesn't know, Tinfoil Hat Time is a segment we do. If anybody who's watching the video, it's a segment we do at the end of the podcast where we just kind of, go off a little bit. Sometimes we even talk about aliens. So,
well, that's what it was supposed to be about originally, and you kind of taken over my tinfoil hat time.
I have, so I'll have to let you next time. But this time, we're not going to. Okay. But I think the FEMA camps will work good because we're going to do a few podcasts about bugging out here coming up. So I think that'll fit in pretty well with that.
All right. But
let's talk about this. I want to pose a question to you and see what you think. But this is Tinfoil Hat Time. Let's just go totally overboard and say, what if it was mandated that everybody had a gun?
That would be awesome.
Yeah. Well, how do you think that would work, though? I know you think it'd be awesome, but would it work?
I think at first people would freak out.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would freak out.
They would totally freak out. I think you might see an increase in accidental shootings because people... But maybe... So let's make it the rule that everybody has to have a handgun or a firearm, but you have to go through a class first.
Yeah, I was going to say that was going to be my next thing because you can't just give everybody a gun.
No, because there'll be lots of accidental shootings.
The psychos, the mental people, all of that stuff too. The criminals. I mean, you got to do the same things we're kind of doing right now.
Yeah.
But you couldn't get, and there would be people that didn't want to have anything to do with firearms, and that would have to be okay. You couldn't force somebody to have a gun. Do you know what I mean?
Well, like they can force us to do everything else, like pay taxes.
Yeah, and that's where I'm kind of going with this. But I think one thing that it would do is there wouldn't be the soft targets there are right now.
No,
because
I think there
people would be everywhere with guns. Even if it was only 75%, 60% of the people that were carrying on a daily basis.
Would kind of be like herd immunity, because so what herd immunity is if 90% of the herd is immune to a disease or whatever, then they have what's called herd immunity. So then everybody is pretty much immune to whatever because the herd will protect them.
Yeah.
So it's kind of the same thing because the herd, being the people with guns, the weapons, will protect the people that aren't comfortable with it.
Yeah, and I think people right now, a lot of people freak out about it because they don't understand guns, they don't understand anything about it. But in a situation like that, eventually, I think you're right, in the beginning, something like that would be pretty tough because there'd be a lot of problems you would have to fix, and there would be a lot of incidents, I think.
Well, because... But
eventually...
eventually I think it'd be an awesome idea, and I think people would see that over time, that, hey, this is a good idea. But we've all been so softened down to guns are bad, guns are evil, only criminals have guns. I can't have a gun because I'm not a criminal. But that's how the government and
the media,
they portray that having a gun or a weapon or any kind of firearm, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
So I think
they're just out. They're just killing their weapons to kill people.
Yes, they just kill. Everybody dies every day because of guns.
And I think that whole thing that you're talking about right there, I think our problem as a country and as a planet these days, it's more of a culture issue. It's not a gun issue. Everybody likes to, put a Band-Aid on the problem. But it's a culture issue. It's the way people are these days, that everything you see on TV, and I hate to sound like one of those old guys that when I was a kid, we had Leave It to Beaver and all that, and we didn't have all this stuff on TV, but
I liked Leave It to Beaver.
It's kind of true. And I love the video games, the Call of Duty and all of that too, but it's the culture of not teaching the children what they need to know about stuff. It's the culture of this stuff is okay. It's the me culture.
Right.
And I think that is the problem, not the guns. I mean, why is it that the problem, what am I trying to say here? The problem of people being mentally ill is such a bigger problem nowadays. What caused that?
Well, I have my own theories on that.
Yeah, and there's a lot of them, but I'm saying that's what we need to dig into. Not the guns themselves. Dig into why is it that 20, 30 years ago, we didn't have the problems that we have nowadays? What has changed?
Because our culture or us as a society, at that time, we were more self-sufficient, we were more self-reliant, and our leaders made us active participants in taking care of ourselves. And now it's all, don't do it. We'll take care of you.
Let us do it for you.
Everything for you.
Or the people saying the government needs to help me.
Yes.
The government needs to do this. The government needs to do that. Back in the Old West, they call it the Wild West and all that. And it's got this stigma that it was everybody out just blasting guns, everybody killing everybody.
Pew,
but that's
pew,
not...
pew, pew, pew.
That's not the way it was.
You open the door. Pew, pew, pew.
That's not the way it was because everybody had a gun. So you just didn't go out and do that stuff.
No.
Now, granted, you had the drunks and all that, and sometimes that stuff would happen, but that's the same thing that would happen now. That's why you don't mess with guns when you're drinking.
Right.
But my whole point with this, and I know the people that are against guns are going to be totally thinking, here's another one of those extreme right-wing whack jobs. And honestly, I'm not extreme right-wing at all. I'm right, but I'm not no, I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
But my whole point is this is just almost as absurd as the other side of the coin where they want to take everything away. Because that's not who we are. And when Obama says this is not who we are, no, this is not who you want us to be.
Right.
Who we are and who you want us to be are two different things. This is the way that we were brought up in this country. This is what makes us different than the rest of the world. And I love being an American. There's nowhere else I'd want to be because of this, because of our bad points and our good points together. I mean, this country is, I love it. And the fact that we can defend ourselves, I don't want that taken away.
No, and I
think the people that are scared of guns want that.
Right, but I think it is our duty and our responsibility to, it's nice to have the rights of the Constitution, but it's not only that it's nice and it's a right, but it's a responsibility.
Yeah,
and I think that we owe it to our forefathers and those who took part in creating that.
Did all the work to put
put it to play. We need to uphold our end of the bargain because people died for that, and I think we all have gotten too soft.
Yeah, and that kind of brings me to my next point is that less availability for guns. Say they outlaw high capacity, whatever, semi-automatics, whatever. That let's say it does decrease these mass shootings or whatever, but at what cost?
But I don't think it would.
I don't either, but what I'm trying to play devil's advocate here.
Oh.
At what cost? They
giving up your freedom.
They make this law. They make this law. They whittle away until, this is a never-ending fight. As soon as they, this no-fly list, which is ridiculous because it's a list that they can basically put whoever they want on.
And they don't have to say why you're on the list.
Yep.
You could just go to the airport one day and find out, go say you're going to Mexico or something for a vacation you saved up 2 years for, and you go hand them your passport and stuff, and they're like, oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Goodwin, you're not allowed to fly.
Yeah, and they can, and that's where it starts, and then pretty soon it gets bigger and bigger, and if they suspect you for anything that has nothing to do with terrorism or anything, you just say, you know what, throw them on that list.
Yeah, if they don't like you.
Even if we just want to mess with them, just throw them on that list.
Yeah, I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
I don't like that Dale Goodwin.
And then, maybe it's not in our lifetimes, maybe it's our grandchildren's lifetimes, but what does it look like then after everything has been whittled away? I think if they tried to come and take the guns, that's a huge powder keg waiting to blow up, I think.
Yeah, I don't think they have the resources to do that. I don't think that would stop them.
They underestimate the American people if that's the case, because there are a lot of gun owners, and the anti-gunners are way louder than the people with guns, because we don't want to get put on a list. We don't want to be scrutinized.
Just leave me alone. Let me do what I want to do.
But in the video that I played right before this too, and it's an NRA video, if you guys are watching the video, you can look that up on the NRA, but they talk about enforcing the laws that are already in place. Instead of using this, they totally use this San Bernardino thing to further their gun issue, and talking about the no-fly list, which has nothing to do with it. I can see terrorists being on a no-fly list, but these people weren't.
No, but it's like none of the people that are terrorists, they're not on the no-fly list. It's Americans.
Yeah. Well, and what I'm saying here is that why not punish, instead of trying to punish the law-abiding citizens, why not take the laws you have, like they were talking about in the video with the gangbangers and all of that are more afraid of each other than they are of the police? Why not enforce those laws and make it, I mean, they'll put somebody in jail for 10 years for smoking weed. Why not do the same? Why is it that they have these lax laws for guns and everything? If somebody's in possession of a firearm and shouldn't be in possession of a firearm, lock them up for a long time. I don't care what the excuse is. I don't. I don't have any illegal stuff. So if you are, then you deserve it. And I guarantee you, if they know that penalty is there and it's going to be enforced, they're going to think twice about it.
I don't know. I don't know if they would, because I think the people that aren't paying attention to the laws, I mean, those are the people that are making it bad for everyone else. And just, I mean, look at where Chicago, where you can't have,
that's kind of
gun
what
laws
comes to mind, yeah.
And look at how many people are killed every day there by guns.
Yeah, but that's because they're, like they said in the video, if they go round up, not even everybody, just a lot of them, and make a point of saying, hey, you know what? If you have an illegal gun, we're coming after you. Mm-hmm. If you're caught with a gun, I don't care if it's yours or who else or whatever, if it's not registered to you, we're coming after you.
But I have a feeling that's what they're going to try to do to the law-abiding citizens.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that kind of opens up a powder cake too. But I mean, you've got to do something about enforcing the laws that they already have, and that doesn't mean creating more laws that are going to punish people like me and you that have no intention of doing anything like that.
Nope. So I think that, in my opinion, I think if you are able to, I think you should be trained. I think you should go out and take your concealed carry,
I think
class.
Even if you don't want a gun, you should.
You should,
because it'll show you what it's all about.
Mm-hmm. At least go to the classes. You don't have to own a firearm to go to a gun range. That you can rent them and you can get instruction. I got instruction, but you get over it, and it's just the more you do it, the more you're desensitized. I mean, it's like anything. The more you do it, the more you're desensitized to it, the better you'll be at it, the more comfortable you'll be with it. And I think everybody needs to, I really think everyone should at least know how to fire a weapon, a firearm.
Yeah, and try it, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. That's fine.
But you can't say
why would
try.
you want to disarm a whole country? I just don't get that. And depend on the police. Police are first responders. They're not going to be there within seconds. And all this last one in San Bernardino probably took 2 minutes.
Yeah, but watching that video with the police there, they were friggin' awesome. They were going down the street.
They are, but
that's it.
They got to get there.
Right. But that was pretty cool. So hats off to all of the police officers that were involved with that, because that was,
have to do that stuff. Yeah.
That was a big deal.
Yep. Well, that's it. Do you have anything else?
Not on gun control.
Not on this. We could do a whole podcast on all of this stuff. I mean, we could do a few of them, but
I have a few what if scenarios, but
well, maybe we'll get to maybe we'll do a whole podcast about this.
The what if scenarios.
Yeah. All right, everybody. We'll talk to you later. Until then, take care and prepare.
Goodbye.